Hi everyone, Agrika this side. If you're someone who has been following manifestation or some sort of technique, probably affirmation or visualization or self hypnosis to reprogram your mind to believe in those dreams and believe in yourself, but you don't understand how to write the affirmation, what exactly an affirmation is, how to craft an affirmation, then this video is gonna simplify it for you because I'm gonna teach you practically the 5 steps, simple 5 steps that anybody can follow and craft the perfect affirmation routine for himself or herself. Before I talk about the routine, I will talk about what an affirmation is and why is it useful. Okay? So to affirm means to tell something to your mind, and to repeat an affirmation means to repeatedly tell something to your subconscious mind. Now, why is it important? Because even if we don't affirm, we are unconsciously, subconsciously doing it in the form of our self-talk. Since the time we were born, या फिर जब से हमने होश संभाला, till age, we are repeatedly thinking something about ourselves. And as a result of survival instinct, as a result of negativity bias, 90 to 95% of our self-talk, of our thoughts, of the words we use to ourselves and to others, they tend to be negative. They tend to be more biased towards our limitations. So, जाने अनजाने में ही सही, you are actually affirming it. You are actually affirming by default something negative. And hence these act as resistance, because what we think repeatedly is what we believe about ourselves, and that is our self-image. And what our self-image is, उसके ही consistency में हमारे behaviors, हमारे actions, हमारे choices होते हैं. एंड जो आपके बिहेवियर्स हैं, जो एक्शंस हैं, जो चॉइसेस हैं, वही तो आपका रिजल्ट आ रहा है. तो नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एन एफर्मेशन इज एंड व्हाई इट इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट. तो व्हाई इट इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट इज कि वी हैव टू एक्चुअली अंडरस्टैंड दैट वॉट एवर इज एक्टिंग एज अ रेजिस्टेंस टू गो टूवर्ड्स आवर ड्रीम, दैट इज़ वॉट आई एम गोइंग टू हेल्प यू टू आइडेंटिफाई कि एग्जैक्टली क्या रेजिस्टेंस है. उसी का जस्ट ऑपोजिट वी विल ट्राई टू क्राफ्ट एफर्मेशन. सो हाउ टू डू इट, when to repeat, when not to do it, everything is gonna be clarified to you in the next part. So I hope कि आपको first part of the video से logic समझ में आ गया है reprogramming का, affirmation का. Now as you can see on the screen, I have asked you कि सबसे number 1 step is that you clarify your self and vision. What does that mean? So let's say there's a person who has no clarity about the self, as in who he is, what his strength, his weaknesses are, what's his vision, what's his personality type. That is a person who is less aware about himself. That person will not be able to know his vision. He will not have a clarity of the long term, the short term goals in his life, both personal and professional. And hence, whatever he is desiring of, whatever he will try to manifest, right? His dreams will be copy pasted. Those will be very generic कि मुझे पैसा चाहिए, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए. And when by hook or crook, by hard work or by luck, if that person reaches there, that person will be dissatisfied. It has happened with me in the past. That is, I tried to just chase money. I tried to chase material desires. Now, money is important for sure, but money always is a byproduct of our vision, of our purpose, of our contribution, of our work. Hence, step number 1 for a long-lasting, happiness or satisfaction of the manifestation process is step number 1, to know thyself, to know yourself. If you want to know yourself, you can spend some time with yourself. We can understand this in some other video. We can cover this in some other video. You can drop a comment ki I want to know more about myself. How do I go about that? We also help people knowing themselves by their personal reporting. That is a part of our program on our website, which the link is in the description. There I come personally and talk to people one-on-one and help them understand themselves. So awareness is power. I feel majority people go to their deathbed, they die, and they are not aware of themselves. They just lived a life which is like copy pasted life, following others and in their FOMOs, right? So step number 1 before manifestation, before affirmation per se, is to know thyself, is to know yourself. When I say that, I have already told you, knowing what your likings, dislikings are. In short, knowing where you want to go. What is your goal? जब गोल ही नहीं पता होगा तो आप क्या मैनिफेस्ट कर रहे हो, व्हाट आर यू वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स. सो ऑन द वन-on-one calls I usually am very surprised and I wonder how people come and then they ask me कि Agrika help me in manifesting this that, but when I cross question them they tend to understand कि this is something which I don't want, I'm just copy pasting that. तो अपना goal exactly पता होना चाहिए. It could be to clear some exams, to get more salary, to get a particular job, to travel, to have more self-love, to overcome procrastination. XYZ could be goals. Now goals are of two types. One are macro goals, micro goals. तो usually आपका जो affirmation चल रहा है वो macro goal से नीचे आना चाहिए. For instance, there are 6-7 areas of life, pillars of life. So for instance, मेरा affirmation कैसे होता है? Let me check if everything is getting recorded. So मेरा affirmation कैसे होता है? In a copy, I usually every month do this exercise. I write कि मेरा 1 month का macro goal क्या है. See, macro goal तो life goal होता है, but still macro goal एक बन गया कि relationship में ये चाहिए मुझे, personal professional life में ये चाहिए, हर area of life में. अब उसमें मुझे next month तक क्या करना है, that is coming backwards. That is micro goal. कि for instance मुझे X amount earn करना है within 1 year. अभी मेरा 1 month का क्लाइंट का कन्वर्जन रेशियो XYZ वो क्या होगा, दोज आर माई माइक्रो गोल्स. अभी लेट्स सपोज कि फॉर दैट आई हैव टू डेवलप सम कोर्सेज, आई हैव टू गो दिस, आई हैव टू डू दैट इज माइक्रो गोल. तो दैट इज क्लैरिटी, एग्जैक्ट क्लैरिटी ऑफ विजन. वरना यूजली लोगों का मैनिफेस्टेशन पता है क्या होता है, आई एम अर्निंग मोर मनी. नहीं, एफर्मेशंस पर्टिकुलर तभी अच्छे हो सकते हैं जब वो आपके एक लॉन्गर विजन से, मैक्रो गोल्स से नीचे माइक्रो गोल्स पे आए हुए हैं. ठीक है, इसके ऊपर भी अगर आप चाहते हो तो मैं एक सेपरेट वीडियो बनाऊंगी. मैं इसको स्पेसिफिकली बताना चाहती हूँ स्टेप्स पे, मैं उससे डिटर नहीं होना चाहती हूँ. ठीक है, तो ये आपने समझा. ये बहुत ही कम लोग आपको समझाते हैं, बट रिमेंबर फॉर अ लॉन्ग लास्टिंग हैप्पीनेस एंड सेटिस्फैक्शन एंड मैनिफेस्टेशन प्रोसेस, योर स्टेप नंबर 1 शुड बी एग्जैक्ट क्लैरिटी ऑफ वॉट यू वॉन्ट, वेयर यू वॉन्ट टू गो इन मे बी 1 year, एंड देन कमिंग बैकवर्ड्स एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग वॉट इज योर current goal of next 1 month. It works perfectly that way. Now let's say कि in 1 year you want to become you want to crack an exam, so in 1 month you have to get this grades, or maybe in 1 year you want to accumulate, let's say 1 CR in your account, and for that, for this month your micro goal is your target is 10 lakh rupees example, and then within those 10 lakh rupees now your micro goals are ki I want to go offline for offline events, I want to do online events. Now within that, what are your exact step number 2 limiting beliefs or your challenges कि मुझे उस वेबिनार को करने में, सेमिनार को करने में, स्टेज परफॉर्मेंसेस करने में, अपने कोर्सेज बनाने में, XYZ लेट्स से जो भी आपका काम है 10 लाख के लिए, उसमें मुझे क्या चैलेंजेस फेस हो रहे हैं. एक तो होता है लैक ऑफ रिसोर्सेज. तो रिसोर्सेज के लिए तो आपको हार्ड वर्क करना पड़ेगा, बट देन कुछ इनर चैलेंजेस होते हैं लाइक फोमो, कुछ फियर, डाउट, प्रोक्रास्टिनेशन, इनकंसिस्टेंसी. ये आपके क्या हो गए, एग्जैक्ट लिमिटिंग बिलीफ. जितने लोग उतने टाइप की लिमिटिंग बिलीफ. तो स्टेप नंबर 2, यू हैव टू एग्जैक्टली आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट माई लिमिटिंग बिलीव्स, व्हाट माई चैलेंजेस वर, राइट. तो ये आपको समझ में आ गया. दिस इज अ लॉन्ग process, yaar. People usually just by hook and crook write anything in their affirmation. That's not true. That's not how it works. Affirmations are very personal. Okay, now you have to do these steps, these 5 steps for all areas of life, and that is the best set of affirmation which you should follow or repeat every single day. Okay, you understood? Now step number 3 is to now you know your limiting beliefs. Ki for instance ki I am very shy, I lack consistency, or I fear this, I fear that, I don't have help from the outside or people who can help me. These could be your limiting beliefs. Or maybe I struggle having connection with my wife, my husband, my partner. That could be a limiting challenge in your relationship. Okay? Now you know exact limiting beliefs. Now you are gonna, this is a hindrance. Understand, this limiting belief is actually a subconscious hindrance which you have repeated so many times that now it seems very real. But actually, if you zoom out and actually if you work logically, see logically, you will see these are nothing but stories you have told to yourself, or these could be some past experiences जिनका burden आप बहुत ज़्यादा लेकर के आगे बढ़ रहे हो, and hence you will never be able to attract something opposite to it, and hence you will never be able to attract your vision of step number 1. Now in step number 3, what we have to do, now we have your hindrances, we have the resistances, the fears, the subconscious blockages. Now what we do is that for each one of those, we craft affirmation in this way, which is step number 3. Let's say in step number 2, I said ki I am very inconsistent. I usually am procrastinating. That's my challenge. And I actually don't apply something that I learn. Common limiting belief. Or maybe I feel that I'm not worthy of earning enough money. This could be a challenge, or maybe I XYZ, whatever. Now step number 3 is कि इसका एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट प्रेजेंट टेंस में आई एम को करके और गॉड और यूनिवर्स को लेकर के आके यू हैव टू क्राफ्ट योर एफर्मेशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, गॉड, यूनिवर्स, फाइनली आई एम सो हैप्पी दैट आई am leaving my inconsistency. Something magical is happening that every day I'm starting with 2 hours per day of focus. Start small. ठीक है? Hey God, I'm finally so happy that you are sending me the right connections, the right people, the right opportunities that I'm able to earn 10 lakh rupees per month. God, I'm finally so happy that I'm able to communicate very openly and effectively with my partner. And because of this communication, all our grievances are dissolving and we are able to communicate really well. तो कहने का मतलब है I am, then God को लेकर के आए, universe को लेकर के आए, because prayer is really magical. Now when you pray, you are actually, all the burden of fulfilling your goals is not just on you. It's on something higher than you. ठीक है? Higher self, it could be consciousness, universal consciousness, whatever, जिस पे भी आप भरोसा करते हो. So if you don't believe in God, then you can talk to your higher self. हायर सेल्फ, आपके अंदर का जो ब्रह्म है, अहम ब्रह्मास्मि. ठीक है? नाउ यू कैन ऑल्सो एड सर्टन थिंग्स इन स्टेप नंबर 3 टू बी मोर क्रिएटिव. दैट गॉड, you are making me hardworking. I am tapping onto capitalizing all the opportunities that are coming, and I'm no more inconsistent. I don't know, something is happening that every single day I'm giving 2 hours to my physical health. Whatever your challenges were, become more and more and more creative, detailed as possible, as creative as possible, not too detailed because we want to affirm it multiple times, so we want to keep it like short, if not too long. And these were how you craft the perfect present continuous terms में affirmations for yourself for all areas of life, or especially the ones which the goals are really, really, really urgent to you. Now, step number 4 is, people ask me, Agrika, how many times do I repeat the affirmations? How many times do I put, like, what is to be done, how it is to be spoken? Do we need to add feeling to it? Do we also need to visualize? Now, understand the logic first of all, then we'll come to step number 4. So we have to reprogram ourselves. We had a limiting belief which we have been so far repeating unconsciously, maybe hundreds of times. So why are you asking me how many times to repeat the affirmation? I say as many times as you were repeating a negative belief. Those are the number of times you need to replace the negative one resistance with a positive affirmation. So does that mean that, Agrika, all day long I have to repeat these affirmations? If not to begin with, but ultimately the goal is this. Ultimately the goal is that your thinking, जिसको आप stop ही नहीं कर पाते हो, जो negative thinking चली रही है, those are negative affirmations. उसको ही ultimately we have to reprogram mind in such a way that next time whenever I think about this step number 1, naturally I think about myself as positive. So this is the logic of affirmation. This is what subconscious reprogramming is for manifestation. So does that mean that I will not have to work hard towards it? Hard work will keep on going parallelly. Hard work तो चलता रहेगा, वो आज नहीं तो कल आप कर ही रहे थे. But here you have actually changed your self-concept by reaffirming this to yourself. So coming back to the question, how many times do I affirm and how to affirm? So for me, it is usually multiple times a day, and that works wonderfully well. So as I get up, as I do the morning chores, as I get away with the business of the day, business of the morning, so probably there are people who have to go to office, probably there are people, housewives, who have to get their children ready or whatsoever. So morning में try कि as early as possible, as you are done with the necessary urgent chores of the day, you just get to your copy and you start affirming. And affirm as much as you can. It could be 2, it could be 20, but we have to affirm to that point that it starts to feel real. In the beginning, as a beginner, you may or may not get the feeling of it being fulfilled, but please be consistent. Please overcome that resistance too. With time, with 20 days programming, with 30 days programming, you will start feeling that naturally. It will start becoming a part of you. You would have repeated it so many times, as many times, that it starts to feel natural to your subconscious mind. And that is, my friend, when you start, then that is the starting of manifestation. So what we're doing, as I told you, the logic of affirmation is to believe in those things, to believe in yourself, that you are able to, you are actually worthy of your vision as of step number 1. Did you understand that? So again, how to add the feeling will come with time. feeling will come with time. As many times, so how many times to repeat a day? Usually, as I said, as I start the morning, I do that while I am working in the breaks, tea break, coffee break, I do that. While I'm on treadmill, I visualize the same affirmations because I cannot write it down. So is visualization better or affirmation? I would say, basis my experiences and past manifestation success rates, visualization works best. So over time, see, visualization is also affirmation only. So you are affirming but in visual, not by writing it. Okay? So maybe while I'm on the treadmill, I am visualizing the end goal of स्टेप नंबर 3, एंड गोल को विजुलाइज करना होता है. एंड धीमे धीमे इसको करो, रात में सोने से पहले डू इट, बिकॉज ओवर नाइट योर माइंड विल ऑपरेट ऑन इट, बिल्ड अप ऑन इट. द सबकॉन्शियस कीप्स वर्किंग इवन व्हेन यू आर sleepy or when you have slept. So that is how many times you repeat, how many times you visualize. And step number 5, which is most important, is that people usually they keep changing their affirmations. That is not recommended. Do your research, do your work of step number 1, step number 2, step number 3 beforehand. Give good time on that, but then moving forward, please don't keep changing it because your subconscious mind will get confused. I really hope, friends, that you have liked this video. I tried to make it as detailed, as informative as possible, and whatever your feedbacks are, whatever your reviews are, positive, negative, please feel free to put it down in the comment section, because I will take every critic, every negative comment as a feedback to improve my further videos. Also, if you really wish me to become your personal mentor, feel free to connect with my team on WhatsApp or calling number, which is given in the description below. And also you can directly go and enroll to one of our programs. One is self-paced, the other is a personalized program, from the website link, which is again given in the description. You can connect with me on Instagram. The Instagram handle is also given in the description. Bye-bye, guys. Take care. And I really wish you a happy manifestation and successful manifestation and fulfillment of desires. Bye-bye, guys. Also, don't forget that while doing all these steps, you have to be equally, or rather more hardworking, because let me tell you, once you start getting the hook of it now, new opportunities, new synchronicities will come, on which you have to tap, you have to capitalize by working hard. Definitely. Thank you so much.